Hey guys, I was asked to do a little video here on how to bleed a road wing with the wrap. I just got this one off of eBay. Uh, Not the greatest price, but you know, it's a good unit, nice and clean. Uh, Unfortunately, seems to be the price is gone. I can't get good deals anymore. But in any case, these are the wraps I like to use. They're off of a BMW. A couple different models. 1100s, 1200s, 1300, or 1150s, 1100s, 1050s, yada yada yada. They're a lot like a car brake caliper. They got a piston down inside that when you want to bleed them, you got to help it out. You got to push the piston back. I use a ball end Allen. That way it's not sharp edges in there, just in case I slide off to the side. If I just stick it right down inside the hole and push down on it. This one's already all the way back. And then I use fork oil. I got some 15 weight handy. 5 weight works a little bit better, only when you're filling it, just because it flows in a little bit faster. And to fill it, I use a medicine syringe. Little end fits perfect in there. And you know, if you got kids, you got probably about 100 of these laying around anyway. But just pour some in until the fluid starts coming out of the top. Now this one was almost full already, so it hardly took any. They take about a little bit more than what this syringe will hold. About 15 milliliters, something like that. And then you take your banjo bolt and just thread it on there. What I like to do is I like to hold the banjo down while I tighten the bolt. And what that does is, as the bolt's going in, it's pushing the air out, and the air will come up through the top. And as you're tightening it down, you can, I don't know if you can see the oil kind of oozing out the top. So you're getting all the oil out of there, or all the air rather. And I just take a 10 millimeter wrench, I just kind of snug it. Don't need a whole heck of a lot, just snug it. Then what I like to do is I'll go ahead and max the wrap out so it's at max preload. Now the messy part. This is also a 10 millimeter. What I'll do is I hang the shock over like this, and I use the bowl to catch the oil. The oil is going to run down the hose. It's going to run all over the cap and make a nice big old mess. So when you guys get these shocks from me with the wrap, I try to pre-bleed them best I can. I realize most of you guys are going to disconnect them to route your line. So I don't stress over getting every last micron of air out of there. I try to get it to where by the time you hit one full turn on the wrap, you're feeling resistance already. So. And what I do is I watch this spring here. When the spring stops moving, I don't know if you can hear the hair coming out of there. Alright. Spring stopped moving, so I just snugged it again. disconnect this end. And back this all the way back. Yeah, long bottom again. Wipe it off. You don't want any junk in there. And just push it back. Now I'll take this again. I apologize if I don't have the right angle on the camera here. I probably look real funny wearing my motorcycle helmet with my GoPro stuck to it. But this is the best way I can do it. I'm not going to grab this thing with oily, messy hands. When you're filling this, bring the oil right up to the top of the threads where it starts to overflow. That way, as soon as you start threading your banjo bolt here, it immediately starts pushing the air up through the banjo bolt, and that way you're getting as much air out as you possibly can. Again, after I get it threaded, I'll push the banjo all the way down so it gets out the maximum amount of air. Quick little snug. Now, this step isn't necessary, but I'm going to do it just so you guys can see. If you see this little white Teflon collar, Teflon plastic, whatever it's made out of, I'm not exactly positive. But what I like to do is, when I turn this knob, like I got, this one's good, I got a quarter turn and I'm feeling resistance. So I got almost every last bit of air out. Now when I'm cranking this down, go ahead and watch right between the silver part of the cap here and this white sleeve. You can see how the wrap is pushing the preload cap. Turning this, it's extending the piston inside this preload cap and it's compressing the spring. Okay, that's maximum preload right there. You don't want to go any farther than that. I mean, these wraps actually do a very good job of accomplishing max preload. You really don't want to go more than this, because if you go out too far, there's two O-ring seals, one on the inside, on the dampener side, and then one on this side. You go too far, you're going to expose that O-ring seal, and it'll actually start spewing oil all over the place until it goes back far enough.